Well, it's good news for traders and customers at the Mile 12 market. Also good for farmers whose produce are transported to the market, that's a food market, on a daily basis. That doesn't mean there aren't challenges in the food production chain in Nigeria, and there are inadequate facilities for processing and storage. Most farmers aren't exposed to modern agricultural methods, and then there is the threat of cattle rustlers as well as armed militia overrunning farmlands. All of that is what we'll be talking with my guest, who is already seated right here. He's an executive of the Great Nigeria Farmers Group, Mobolaji Avose. Good morning, and it's good to have you on the show this morning.
Good morning.
First of all, maybe I should even start from a personal level. I mean, I'm just looking at you, young man, energetic and all of that. What is it that attracted you to farming? Is it necessity or was it real passion?
Passion. Passion. Passion has kept me. Even with all the challenges I faced at the initial, passion kept me. So that is.
Okay, that's really interesting. We'll still delve into that. Maybe that'll be after we've discussed what we have on the table this morning. I have another guest. Benue State is known as the food basket of the nation. Indeed, a predominantly agricultural community in the state. Agatu has recently witnessed attacks by Fulani militia, a potential threat to national food security. A farmer from Agatu, Thomas Adakole, is joining us on the phone from the community talking about Agatu. Good morning, and thanks for joining us. Maybe I should start with you by saying or asking whether Nigeria really is at risk of food insecurity. Is that looking likely?
Hello?
Hello, did you hear my question?
Yes. Yes, really, the Nigeria is in trouble in the food security because Benue State is the food basket of the nation, and precisely in Benue is Agatu that is one of the major. Their main thing is farming, and in fact, really, perspective. The farming work is their mainstay. And that is where the Fulani herdsmen used to destroy their produce worth billions of naira. And not only that, claiming life of innocent people, children, woman, and man. And now, I'm not in my village. I'm not in the village. I'm one of the members of the IDPS in our local government. We have completely displaced from our own ancestral home.
Okay, Thomas, just remain on the line with us. Let me come to my guest in the studio, Mobolaji Avose. Do you share the same views with him, where he says Nigeria is actually at risk of...
yes, I do. And much more. I do. Yeah, because definitely... a whole lot is happening right now. The herdsmen are causing a lot of damage. They are causing a lot of issues, and the government is promoting, is asking young people to go into farming. It's asking us to go into farming, and what happens? Some of us have secured loans. Some of us have probably borrowed money from one source or the other, and some of us hadn't money. And you plant and you probably cultivate one thing or the other, and the next thing you have invasion by the herdsmen, and you run into debt. You lose. So, at the end of the day, if this is not curbed, we're going to have a big issue on our hands. So that's why I think the government should have what we call the will, the power, to face this head on and not to cut corners around it.
And this government has said, President Buhari actually only recently said that food security is his major concern. How do you think he'll be able to achieve that?
One, well, encourage farmers is be able to achieve that, but discourage this also. Then provide alternatives. I understand what is going on by this cattle because of global warming. We have a lot of grassland getting drought on the high side in their region, so they're moving towards the west and the south and all that. But sorry, you can't, because of your own interest, destroy other people's livelihood too. So the government should come in and put in what we call regulations. You can, no, yes, I heard sometimes that the government was saying they were going to, import grass and all that.
That has been a source of controversy in itself.
Is it sustainable? There are modern technologies which unfortunately the government is not tapping into. We have what we call the fodder system, which I use on my own farm. I have animals too. I don't, I had to look into use technology to feed my animals, and they are doing fine. And we can have what we call proper regulation in place. Any herdsman that wants to come into a community should be approved to come in. If you can show proof
that
you can control and you can provide feed, and you can provide what we call graceland and all that. Then you have your tag and all that to allow you go into the graceland. You feed your animals then at a token or something. These are ways government can help help in this situation and provide food security, because it's not just we are not going to eat cattle all through. We have a plantain to eat, rice land. One of my friends, one of my friends recently had his rice land destroyed by herdsmen, just because the other man wants to keep his cattle.
Which part of the country is that?
They're about in
the north.
Yeah, in the north there.
You are not the typical image of a farmer. Let me go to my guest in Agatu, who is on the line with us. Talk to us. How is this really affecting, the average, not so educated farmer, which forms actually the larger majority of farmers in Nigeria? And what do you think, can be done urgently to stem a situation where, farming is being threatened?
Yes. Really, Nigeria globally, it affects the mainstream. Now there is a dwindling in federal allocation. And you see that now the emphasis of the federal government is focused on the agriculture. And if you see that now, if you are defining agriculture, cultivation of land and then rearing of animal. If rearing of animal is not there, it's not completed. They are also doing their own work to feed Nigeria globally. And we are contributing. Mechanized system is also there. Farming of agriculture. Because, in Agatu, we have a lot of Fadama.
Okay,
which
the Fadama project.
Fresh grasses and all over that is not in some other part of this country. It's in Agatu. And that's what motivates them to troop in. You see, if you are trooping into somebody's territory, is that how you kill those people before you live with them? It's another question. And Agatu, as I've seen, the mainstay of Agatu is farming, as I told you earlier on. Now it affects the whole average Nigerian globally. And what's supposed to be done, in fact, really, government has to come in to provide a rancher for them, so that they will be in their own rancher. It's not disturbing us. They are also doing their own farming. We're doing our own. So there is a separation, so that peace will reign. Otherwise, the innocent people that are dying, it's reducing the population of Nigeria globally. And in fact, as I'm saying, I told you that I'm not at home. My own self-contained flat has been destroyed, property worth of millions of naira. We have displaced. We are another local government entirely. So now government has to come in. We need more security in that area, so that we'll go home. Even if the government don't want to build house for us, we can make better for ourselves. We can stay in the camp. We feel better than to stay in somebody's territory. So now, that is now we are crying for the federal government to do something possible.
All right, let me come back to the studio to Avose. So many factors militating against agriculture, which is one of the major areas where this government hopes to move the economy towards. I mean, agriculture is a major forex earner or income earner for Nigeria if we can actually harness it. There's the issue of Niger Delta conflict, which is, you know, there's the environmental aspect of it and all of that. With all of this, you know, how, I mean, it just leaves one almost, you know, speechless. How can, you know, this vision really be realized by this government if it would not just end up falling on its face at the end of the day?
Well, I mean, number one, the government has to go down to the communities. I try to talk to every community. What are really the issues affecting you? What are your issues? Once you're able to get all these things, you now look at a comprehensive approach and a comprehensive way to solve this. For the cattle rearers and the owners of farmland, how bad, like he said, they have a graze land. Government can provide graze land because the government has the land. You can provide graze lands for cattle. You can provide fodder system which is gotten from seeds, you know, and just for 7 days life cycle to provide a whole complete meal for cattle, which can be given and which can be sold to these guys at a token, you know. Then for the Niger Delta, most of them have issues with contaminated water and all that. So you go to them. What are the issues? The government is trying to clean up their waters and all that. Like that Buhari, he said that some time ago. So do that. Promote that in the area. Promote agriculture in the area. I mean, clean their water, let them be able to fish, let them be able to do all that. So that provides food, that provides security for every one of us. Us in the southwest here, we also have our own issues. You come to us because we have issues of land
exactly.
grabbers.
You took it right out of my mouth. I mean, for you, I just imagine how challenging it must have been for you to get agricultural land.
It is. We have issues of, even right now, presently, I have a problem whereby I bought a land somewhere in Ogijo, that's where I get my land. But because of Moniles and they want to get this land and sell to redeems and all that. So it's causing a whole lot of issues. We are almost at the verge of losing our land to this land grabber because they want to resell back to the prospective buyers like the church, redeem, and all that. So those are issues. Those are issues affecting us. We have what we call regulation. I had to run away from Lagos State because I couldn't. I mean, if I start such business, Lagos laws and rules, laws and taxes are too much, are not favorable. So we have to go to organization. So these are factors that are affecting all of us. I'm from Badagry. Okay. I should go to Badagry.
Yes.
And that's where
One would imagine that there's plenty of land in Badagry.
I'm a fish farmer because I said integrated farm because I have fish, I have pigs, I have poultry. I should go to Badagry and farm. But I know, most of my land in Badagry are under acquisition. The problem is, if I go there, I stand the chance of losing my land should anything happen in future because government will come and all that. I have land. I have over 50 acres. 70 hectares. My family can give me some or probably buy at a very discounted price. But like I said, government rules, government issues, land issues and all that, they are not so favorable in Lagos State. So these are what affect every community. For Lagos, it's all about taxes, it's all about laws. For Ogun State, it's all about land grabbing going on. It happens in Lagos, but somehow it's more in Ogun State. We are facing a lot of that. So in the south and the Niger Deltas, water pollution. In Benue State, we have herdsmen. Oyo State has herdsmen issues too because I have a farmer friend who is in Oyo, and he has this herdsman issue. These are things that. So you have to go to every community, ask what are your issues.
Then of course, you have the Boko Haram.
You have the Boko Haram in the pure north and northeast and all that. So what are your issues? Let's face all these issues. If you really want to promote food security, then that's what you have to do. You have to go to all these communities, know what is, not talk about it from the overview, from the
talking over people's heads.
No.
How realistic is the goal? The MDGs evolved to the SDGs by 2030 to eliminate hunger from all over. Is that vision realistic? By 2030? That's another 15 years or so. How realistic do you think that goal is?
We can.
What do we need to put in place as quickly as possible? Okay, I have my guests in. I'll still throw that question at you. Thomas Adakole in Benue is a farmer in Benue. He's back on the line.
Yes.
Yes, just like I asked my guest in the studio, how realistic do you think that by 2030 we would have eliminated hunger to a very large extent in Nigeria? What do you think government can do, especially to attract more young people? I assume, I don't see you, but I assume you're a young person, but my guest in the studio is relatively young. How, you
Yes.
know, yes.
Yes, really, what government want to put in place for the younger generation
Yes.
is, in fact, there is an entrepreneurship. You have to do entrepreneurship, whereas a lot of young men that are unemployed. And so we need entrepreneurship and small scale business. Like farming is another one, too, of which we are doing now. As I see me, I'm a graduate. I don't have work. My main thing is farming. And so if government wants to give loan to the young men, I think the problem will be solved a little. Hello?
I'm with you. Go on, please.
Okay. So, and another thing, because on the part of the insurgency, I believe they have to now create their rancher for them. And if they want peace to reign, our houses that were destroyed, many of the communities that are displaced, they are under the sun, under the rain. And if you want to settle this case now, if any of our people see them, they will not be happy. So the only thing that somebody is hungry, a hungry man is an angry man. And they don't have any place to stay. Now rain is falling. They are under the rain. They are under the sun. So we are now crying to the government to come. If they really want to settle this matter, we need more security on that place. Let them build our houses and let us come home.
Okay, let me come back to you, Mobolaji. There are four major dimensions to, agriculture: availability, access to funds, and all of that, and all the other things that you would need to make farming. I mean, look, statistics say Nigeria will be about 230 million people by 2030. Yeah. How do we feed a population this magnitude? Do you think what we have on ground now is encouraging for you, especially as a farmer, a young farmer?
Number one, three things the government needs to do. First thing is, the grant, the loans and all that. It's not getting to the real farmers down there.
Are there loans at all for
the
farmers?
Government is saying there are several loan schemes coming up. But when there are grants, when there are loan schemes, and they don't get to the real guys down there, you wouldn't get results. We're talking of the guys up there who do virtual farming, not farming in the name of farming. They come with an umbrella that they're farmers or probably are into agriculture. They get the grant and and divert the fund into other things that that does not benefit farming. You can't get results. They're the real farmers down there who needs this fund, who needs this. Give them access, let them have access to this fund. They will definitely spin it around and do a whole lot of things. Number two, regulation. Number one, not what we produce somehow do not meet international standards. Yeah.
Why exactly? What's the problem with that? I mean, I know that in Europe, for example, they won't accept our beans.
It's as simple as it is. Regulation. Let there be proper regulation, because those that are in the regulatory bodies are not functioning. All right. So because before you move things out, you check this. Check what our guys are sending out. When I know the government would check my things to see that it conforms with international standard, I will be forced to go and do it right. I have a friend.
When does the regulation start? Does it start with the quality of seed? I know you have the seed boards and all of that.
It starts from planning. It starts from planning. It gets to planting, to harvesting, to storage. Do you understand? So major problem comes from storage. Do you understand? Harvesting and storage. Not even, so we don't have good storage facility in this country. We don't have it at all, in short. So we crest more on, we rely more on the quick method and quick harvest and sell. And when we store, we don't store properly. Like and we use too much. When we use chemicals, our chemicals are not used properly. They're not regulated and all that. So, and some of us still use drugs that are not to be. Look at poultry. Most of us still use antibiotics. Whereas in Europe, it's been discouraged. You know, which is why most of us don't know how to go into other forms of drugs, other forms of ailment control, because we do not know about it. Where there are probiotics, where there are prebiotics that can be used in place of antibiotics. We don't know that. So these are the issues. So education is another part. We need to get them educated. We need to, 1-day seminar, 2-day seminars. Teach the young farmers what to do. Let them tell you the area of specialization or interest.
Okay, let me quickly go to Thomas Adakole. In few words, what would you say is a major challenge for a farmer like yourself in the Northeast, in Benue where you are, especially Agatu? What are the main challenges and how do you think government can intervene very quickly?
Yes, you see, we need government intervention quickly, and some of these interventions are, we need ranchers for them. And because there is a mechanized system of farming in Nigeria and globally. So they can use the species that they say if their cow eats this species of grasses in Adatu, where they will produce. So they can come and, take the grasses and plant it somewhere. There's a lot of farama in Nansarawa, not only in Agatu. Because now they are coming in, they say the species they have is not in Mali, is not in Ghana, is not in some of these West Africa countries. This only found in Agatu. So they should come up in a mechanized system and remove them and plant it somewhere so that the problem will solve. You cannot come to somebody's territory and begin to kill the person and say you are eating from the person and you are still killing them. So the government has to, give them their land, carry the plant, and plant it for them in their own area so that the problem will solve. And we need a lot of security. If you are talking about all this, if security is not there, nobody will go and do the work.
Indeed. Thomas Adakole, farmer there, speaking to us from Agatu on the issue of food security and the effect or impact of Fulani herdsmen attacks and all of that. Thank you very much. Mobolaji, you have the last word.
Thank you very much, everybody. And I believe government should just do more, have the willpower to wade into this decisively and not cut corners around it. Grassland does not have to be imported. He just said, Agatu just said, we have them here. Get grassland, regulate herdsmen, and promote a modern way of farming. There are several modern ways.
Talk to the young people out there who are waiting for white-collar jobs every day. Very quickly.
I tell you.
How lucrative is this?
Very lucrative. When you get good mentors, it is very lucrative and you live well. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Mobolaji,
all right.
was a young farmer there, integrated farmer. You're into all manner of farming. Thank you so much. It's been nice talking with you. I think I'll come take some lessons. All right. At 10:30, of course, will be time for This Morning. Enjoy.